Hello, and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week, we continued slogging our way through the 4th season of Veronica Mars 2019 edition, and we also continued with the crafty competition show Making It. So this was the 3rd episode of season 3, and it was, as they maybe reminded us a few times during the episode, it was just one mega craft instead of doing two, one small and one large craft.
Yeah.
So I kind of liked that they just focused on one thing for the entire time, but I could have definitely done without all of the yucks about this is a mega craft. And also it's windy outside and we're going to make that into a thing that goes on and on.
Proving my point that this could be a half-an-hour show, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we love Nick and Amy. We're watching this mostly because, we got interested in it because of them. But their little, Nick's going to do yoga poses that are named after tools. Their little bits like that are just not that necessary.
I feel like the first 2 weeks of this season, and a little bit in the seasons before, our feeling about this, and we were told in this that all feelings are valid, so here we go. Our feeling about this was more crafts, less jokes, less personal stories, more Making It. Right. And they took that and they said, you know what we need to do? We need to cut down on the amount of crafts we do in the hour so we can have more personal stories and more jokes.
Right.
No!
Exactly. That's not what we meant. You misunderstood.
What the bleep?
Yeah.
I feel like they're getting very bad advice from somebody. Maybe the ratings haven't been that good, but they want to stay in business with Amy and Nick, or they want to keep a crafting show on or something. So they say, keep moving away from the crafts. Keep moving towards the moving personal stories, which I, again, say you can get anywhere pretty much on TV or the internet. I want to see crafts.
Right.
And instead, one person gets a letter. Oh, look, isn't that sweet? And then everybody gets a letter. No. I want to see them making letters. I want to see them putting together their own letters. No, gosh.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know what they're doing, really.
And also, the person who won this time, Melanio, who was one of the people that was added in after the first session was over, which was very weird. I mean, he's like a professional. He is a prop stylist, and he worked for Martha Stewart. He knows what he's doing. I don't know. I mean, I guess everybody has some degree of professionalism in their crafting, but I don't know. He feels.
I really did like that little train car, though.
It was cool, but he feels like a ringer to me.
I guess, but it's so hard to know what they're going to go for at any given moment.
True.
That next week it could be, this looks too professional. We like it to be a little raw and funky.
Yeah.
So, this looks like something you would do in your job. See, they're just, who knows? Yeah. It's, they all were kind of cool in their particular ways.
Yeah.
And didn't they do something like this one? I feel like they did something like this for a final challenge. Creating a space.
Like a tiny house or something.
Yeah, there was a tiny house. There was a she shed or whatever sort of situation. And then there was also one where they were in the barn and they had room-shaped spaces that they needed to make into something. It wasn't a closet, but it was the same basic idea. And that was the final challenge, and it took the whole episode, I think. But this just seemed too soon and not necessary and just not enough making stuff. There was so much cool things. Did we see anything at all about how that one person made a lampshade out of guitar picks? I don't feel like we saw her doing that, did we? It was just there.
Yeah, they talked about it at the end.
That is so cool. Why couldn't we have seen that being crafted? Right. Why couldn't we have seen how the pirate cat space lady turned foam into wood? That's cool. Although the cats are going to tear it up in no time. But sure, it looks cool. Cats are going to go, nice challenge. This should take me about 5 minutes.
Right. That's why there were stuffed cats.
That's right. Stuffed cats. And I'm thinking, are you going to close the door on the cats? Is that what this is to be? Or you're expecting they're just going to stay here and play in their pirate ship and not, tear your drapes? I think they can do both. So, but that was a cool idea. And they were all interesting, but it's just, there was so much time for more craft showing and so much time spent on personal lives. And I don't want to say I don't care about you people except for your crafting skill, but it's a crafting show.
Right.
If I'm watching a baking show, I want to see people bake. Do they on the baking shows, do they talk about themselves this much?
No, they don't. It's a lot more. Except for, like the last one or whatever. Yeah. After during the last one, they have a lot of, their friends and family talking about them or whatever. And then they always show pictures of them getting together after the season.
Yeah.
Which is so cute.
Well, that seems appropriate. This is week 3. And I guess we're expected with these letters to think that they've been away from home for 3 weeks. But they did this in a week. I know they make these all at once. They don't, it's the baking things too, I think. They do them, they don't send people home and then come back next week, or we're going to put you up for a week doing nothing and then we're going to film you again. So it's just that adds a little note of, mommy's been away a couple of days.
Right.
She's going to be back in a few.
Right.
I guess kids miss you still, but I don't know. It just seems so not the right direction for this show to go in. Mm-hmm. It's taking the thing that's special and putting it in the background for the thing that's not.
Right.
Oh, well, speaking of not giving viewers what they want.
Veronica Mars. Entering a World of Pain was the title. Just entering it just now. The World of Pain. We haven't been in there.
Those remaining episodes, people.
Well, it's not like we haven't been in there for 3 seasons. This is not new.
Yes, still in a World of Pain would have been a bit better title.
Yeah.
And all I can think about in those Veronica and Logan scenes is this new song from Big Red Machine featuring Taylor Swift called Renegade. That is like the Ballad of Logan and Veronica. If you haven't heard it yet, go check it out. You will be amused by the parallels. Get your bleep together so I can love you indeed. But it's Logan, really, I think your time here, just go away to someplace dangerous and find some nice girl.
Right, which he did in this episode.
Leo's already moving in. But, he's gone away now. And but it's just how, he's so handsome and he's so patient and he's so nice. And she is so none of those things.
Yeah. And he leaves and she just goes to Comrade Quacks and gets really hammered with Leo and Nicole.
It's just, maybe it's time to, maybe we're ready to say goodbye to Veronica. Maddie, look at Veronica. You have an opportunity to witness her. Get on the plane and go to Paris with your family. Do not stay in Neptune and wallow in things. Yeah. This is what happens to you.
Yeah. I do appreciate her ability to home alone her parents.
Yes, that's true.
Not get on the plane.
Well, we did an episode of people who are in first class and leave their kids in coach and what can happen. See, here you go. Here's an example. But Weevil had an excellent point of yelling at Veronica that she had so many opportunities to get away from this place she says she hates, and yet she's making the choice to wallow in it. Something that other people do not have the choice. And
to continue to harp on him for not doing it. He has not had the opportunities you have.
Especially since it seems like her gripe with him is something that was not on any show but only in a book.
Yeah.
So it takes some of the emotional resonance. If we had seen them working to save him and then he had thrown it over at the last minute, you could sort of get her anger. But since most of us have not heard that storyline at all, it's just her saying it. And really, it doesn't sound that bad. Just telling the story. And I'm sure he had reasons. And the reasons may have been reasons he could not ignore. So, gosh, how high is that horse she's on? You know?
I know. It's very high. And she's a small person.
Yeah. I just feel so bad for Weevil.
I do too. And, I'm very annoyed with her treatment of him.
No matter what he's doing, they have history, and she needs to cut it out.
Yeah.
And he just looks so sad and
she's
upset
so
when she's
cruel.
mean to him. Yeah, and it affects him. He's not like whatever. It upsets him.
Right. I mean, the way she talks about his wife and daughter, like, that's hitting below the belt, man.
Yes,
Don't do that.
And he's right. We did see the movie where he got railroaded because of
Celeste Kane.
Celeste Kane. We were there for that, and we feel for him. And she's like, oh, well, you know, it's just, they're making her really unsympathetic.
Yeah.
Which, you know, okay, maybe that's who she would be at this point in her life, if her life had followed the trail it is. But I have to think that this is not what people longing for Veronica Mars to return were looking for. So, and even if you say, you know, as I believe was something that the creators were saying, that, you know, you can't really ever have a Veronica and Logan happy. But a little bit? I don't know. I actually don't know why you can't, but okay.
And he left such a sweet message.
He did.
When he was heading to Mogadishu.
Yeah, I just... It's disappointing.
Yeah.
I want to be on Team Veronica, and they're making it harder and harder. And, you know, I am happy that Weevil's sister recognized her, because if not, that would be stupid. So.
Oh, yeah. Recognized her snooping in Alonso and Dodie's room at the motel.
And that who's the other dude who was sitting there who said, oh, yeah, that's her dad.
That must be like another brother or some family member.
Those are the things that make you realize that, yes, okay, these people do all live in a universe where the Marses are quite well known. Because oftentimes they act as though people have no idea who they are and what their history is. Although it is amusing when Maddie keeps saying, "Did you know this happened?" And she's like, Here's the DVDs of the first 3 seasons, honey. Go to town.
Get caught up.
Oh man. Well, I did. You know, there was one little sop to the fans in this episode, and that was Clarence. It's Clarence. Logan has Clarence on speed dial and can just call him up and say, "Hey, man, you got a little time?
got a job for you." And
that was lovely.
Right at the opportune moment when Tyler or Taylor or whoever that is showed up to exact revenge
out of the elevator. Yes, that was an enjoyable scene, just because you knew as soon as the guy said, "Oh no, really, I'm fine. I don't need anything."
Sure about that, Congressman?
And Clarence took him down. No Bitcoin transfer required.
And also, Logan finally let the Maloofs know that he speaks Arabic, and
that was hilarious.
Understood everything.
Yes, that was quite enjoyable. Also,
the look on Amalia's face, like, "Oh shoot!"
You would think that the congressman, that it might have crossed his mind that somebody in Logan's line of work, would speak.
Might have picked up a few phrases.
You would think, but he's not. He's not the brightest penny in the drawer.
He really isn't. Oh dear.
I don't know.
The Wikipedia summary of this episode lists 3 different plot lines, and one is a frantic phone call from Paris leads to a search for Maddie. And that took 3 seconds for Veronica to find her. Of course she's at the motel. That's where she always is. That just made me laugh. That was one of the things they chose to highlight in the summary. Okay.
Yeah. No. They were doing they seemed to be hinting at something at Veronica and Logan's apartment. They kept focusing on a door that looked like it was ajar. And then one time they were focusing on like a dark corner of the apartment. But I couldn't figure out what they were trying to tell us. I thought it was the front door that had been left ajar and somebody was sneaking back in or listening. But then Veronica went out the front door and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was a balcony or a window or something. Then when Maddie was there, I thought, well, now Veronica's going to say, how did you get in? And she's going to say, oh, I left your window open so I could crawl in. But there was none of that. So what was that?
I had
Clearly, they wanted us very badly to know that there was something.
Something was going on.
Because the camera kept going over there. And I'm like, what? What camera? What are you trying to tell us?
I'm looking. What are you saying?
So I guess that's going to be something for another week. Mm-hmm. But okay. Yeah. And because then she left Logan in the shower, and I thought, okay, there's some way for somebody's hanging around, somebody's planting a bug, somebody's getting access, they're going to hurt Logan, something bad is going to happen, and then the next morning he's just like, oh, you never came home last night.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Very
this show
strange.
Is almost over.
Yes. Two more episodes.
Oh, please. We did thank goodness, we did not get out of this season without evil frat boys hiding something. You know, that was just that little soupçon of Veronica Mars that was missing. Mm-hmm. What haven't we had yet? Oh, yes. Obviously hiding something. Frat boys.
But
throw it in the
then
pot.
They sort of made you think that whole thing might have been a red herring that Leo left her to follow.
Yes, I did enjoy that Leo did in fact leave it for her to follow. That was fun. Because, she was joking with her dad that, well, by leaving me in the office with those things open, clearly he wanted me to do it. And in fact, he did. So,
yep.
He knows her.
He does.
And I did enjoy Clyde being like, 2 steps ahead of Keith and like 5 steps ahead of Dick.
A big Dick.
Of knowing exactly what Keith was there doing and, getting them out. And Dick's just sitting there.
What? Yes.
I think, is it possible that his son is smarter than he is? Because he seems... we
haven't even seen young Dick in several episodes.
Right.
He hasn't been
around. They can only afford one of them at a time, I guess. I don't know. But he did not come off as like, a particularly wily dude. Mm-hmm. That's what he has Clyde for.
Yes, for sure.
But that was a fun conversation with, we know what Keith is up to.
Yeah.
And Dick does not know what Keith is up to. And Clyde... you're not sure until he then makes it really, really clear that he does.
Right.
So, I like that character. Well, up until the point where he kills a character I like. Other than that, I like him just fine. He's fun. Yeah. Anyway. Spring break's got to be nearly over here, right?
I know. It's been going on for, like, really, how the passage of time in this show, like... I get that spring break is more than 1 week because, different schools have different spring breaks. So, but is it like between episodes, does 1 day pass? Does 3 days pass? I mean, like, because, the Maloofs are just still hanging out in the Neptune Grand.
Logan's going to go spend 6 months in Mogadishu and come back and it's still going to be spring break.
There. Yeah. It's very strange.
Veronica's still going to be messed up. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm. So.
Not fun.
Well, we'll see. Do you have anything else to discuss about?
Just a
we
bunch
got
more heavy
some
sighs.
Vinny in this one, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Vinny at the strip club. Hardy har har.
Yeah.
Where you conveniently can't use your phone, so Veronica can't answer all of Logan's calls and texts.
Logan's many calls.
Is like a recurrent. They must just have like a graphic in their stock room of a text from Logan.
Yeah.
It just comes up and then Veronica ignores it. It's probably the same graphic every time.
Right.
Where are you? What are you doing? Call me back.
I'm at the strip club.
Logan, she never answers. Put a tracker in her purse like Leo does, and then you know where she's at.
That's definitely a more...
Yeah. I'm happy Leo's got a little game. That was fun.
Yes, that's enjoyable.
Did Veronica give Maddie a taser?
She did. Why?
Well, I guess she's a girl all alone in the mean, mean streets of Neptune, you know?
I guess. Did she teach her how to use it? Did she discuss how illegal it is? No,
Wasn't it
nothing.
dark when she was leaving Veronica's house when Logan came home? And then she was, like, presumably walking home to the... Well, I guess she has a car. But even so, traveling home through Neptune to where her father's CD hotel is, where nobody else is there and it's abandoned.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they have just, said, that's okay, honey, stay over there?
You need to stay, yeah.
Or let me drive you home,
right?
Possibly.
Yeah. No,
she's got I guess Veronica figures she's got a taser. It's good. It's all good.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we'll find out next week on episode 7, Gods of War. You know Maddie's going to use that taser at some point.
It's Chekhov's
taser. So yeah, next week is... Oh, and we should mention, we did not listen to a Veronica Mars Investigations podcast episode about entering a world of pain because they haven't entered that world yet. So we're now ahead of them and we'll probably stay ahead.
As much as we would like to put off watching the rest of this, we also want to be done with it really bad.
Right. So we're flying blind.
But we will catch up and talk about their podcasts at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it's episode 7, the penultimate episode, Gods of War.
Golly.
And then making it, of course, for a little palate cleanser, and that is season 3, episode 4. I don't know how many episodes.
Which we expect to involve, they're going to wind each a bobbin of thread, and then they're going to talk about their feelings for 45 minutes.
Exactly.
Making it difficult for Terry to watch is what it is.
Right. There's 2 extremes here that we're dealing with. So anyway, that'll be it for our round 2 today.
A little more Veronica Mars on making it, a little more making it on Veronica Mars.
Yeah, we need a balance. Well, please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.